Hello, hello, my wonderful travelers. Welcome back to Above and Beyond with Lucy. I'm Lucy, your flight attendant friend with 15 years of experience serving you at 35,000 feet. After a decade and a half of watching thousands of passengers walk on and off airplanes, caring for you in the air, and learning every hidden corner of airline policy, I am here on the ground to share the secrets airlines never bother to explain. But you absolutely deserve to know. Today's topic is one that I feel deeply about because so many seniors are never warned about this. Nobody tells you the 5 signs that you should never fly. Signs that seem tiny, signs you shrug off, signs you think are just normal aging, when in reality, they're exactly the red flags that flight crews like me are trained to watch from the galley long before you ever know something is wrong. And listen, my wonderful traveler, if you notice even one of these signs, it might be the universe telling you that today is not the day to get on that aircraft. Not until you're safe. Not until the risk is gone. Not until your body is ready. You might be thinking, Lucy, I don't want to make a fuss. Or, I've flown for years, I'll be fine. Or, I'm not going to cancel my trip over something small. But trust me when I say this. Flying at 60, 70, or 80 is not the same as flying at 30. Your circulation changes. Your heart works differently. Cabin pressure affects you more intensely than you realize. What feels like a minor discomfort on the ground can become a major medical issue at 35,000 feet. And I've seen it happen too many times. I've held the hands of seniors who thought they were fine until the altitude hit them. I've called emergency medical teams mid-flight. I've watched passengers who looked completely normal at boarding become suddenly unwell when the cabin pressure changed. This video isn't meant to scare you. Absolutely not. It's meant to protect you. It's meant to empower you. It's meant to give you the knowledge that airlines should have given you years ago. You deserve to feel safe, confident, and in control of your body every time you travel. And that starts with understanding the warning signs that matter most. Before we jump into the first sign, do me one favor. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want real, honest travel wisdom from someone who has spent thousands of hours caring for passengers just like you. And tell me in the comments, what's the one thing about flying that worries you the most? I read every comment, and your concerns shape the videos I make. All right, take a deep breath. Get comfortable. Because the very first sign is one most seniors ignore. And it's the one that quietly gets the most passengers pulled aside by crew. Number 1, sudden swelling in your legs or ankles. Let's start with the sign almost every senior ignores. Sudden swelling in your legs, your ankles, or even your feet. Most of my wonderful travelers brush this off as just age or just water weight, and they tell themselves it'll go away. But here's the truth from someone who has spent 15 years walking the aisle and quietly observing passengers long before they hit the call button. Swelling is one of the biggest red flags we watch for, especially in older adults. When your legs or ankles puff up unexpectedly, it can sometimes indicate poor circulation or a hidden clot. And when you go up into a pressurized cabin, that risk increases dramatically. Behind the scenes, this is something every crew member is trained to notice. We don't call attention to it, we don't embarrass you, but we absolutely keep an eye on it. I can't tell you how many times I've had a senior passenger tell me, "Oh, I'm fine. This happens all the time," only to feel faint or short of breath the moment we reach altitude. And trust me, my love, nobody wants a medical emergency at 35,000 feet. So here's what I want you to do. If you notice swelling before a flight, even mild swelling, please pause. Sit down. Elevate your legs if possible. Drink water. And most importantly, before you check in, tell the airline agent, "I need a quick medical assessment before boarding." Every airline has a protocol for this, and it's your right to ask. If you think it sounds intimidating, let me give you the exact words you can use. "Can I please speak to the medical desk? I'm having unusual swelling and want to be sure it's safe to fly." I once had a passenger named Mr. Henderson, a lively gentleman in his 70s, who ignored swelling in his left leg. He insisted he felt fine. Halfway through the flight, he became dizzy and pale. We had to call for emergency help upon landing. He later told me, "Lucy, I should have listened to my body. My wonderful traveler, please listen to yours. You deserve to fly safely, not bravely, not quietly, safely." Number 2, you recently changed or increased your heart or blood pressure medication. Now onto a sign almost nobody thinks about. If your doctor recently adjusted your heart medication, your blood pressure pills, or anything related to heart rhythm or circulation, flying may not be safe for you just yet. So many seniors think, "I've been on medication for years, I'm used to it." But when the dosage changes, your body goes through an adjustment period, and the cabin environment can amplify that adjustment in unpredictable ways. Here's what most passengers don't know. Altitude affects how blood pressure behaves, even inside a pressurized aircraft. Your heart works harder. Your vessels expand and contract differently. A medication that feels stable on the ground may hit you differently once you're 7 miles in the sky. In my 15 years as a flight attendant, I've seen more blood pressure-related incidents than anything else, and 80% of them happened within 2 weeks of a medication change. And here's a crew secret you'll never hear an airline say publicly. Whenever EMTs board a plane after landing for a passenger, one of the first questions they ask us is, did they recently have a medication change? They know how often this is the hidden trigger. So before you fly, call your doctor and say, "I'm planning to fly. Is my medication stable enough for cabin pressure?" If you don't know what to say at the airport, here's your magic sentence. "I had a recent heart medication adjustment. I would like extra ground time and pre-boarding for safety." Airlines must provide it. Number 3, you're experiencing unexplained shortness of breath. Another sign, and one I take extremely seriously, is shortness of breath that you cannot explain. Many seniors assume it's age, fatigue, or just being out of shape. But if you're breathing harder than usual, or feeling winded walking from the gate to the restroom, this is not something to push through. Inside that aircraft, oxygen levels are lower and cabin pressure is different. Even perfectly healthy passengers feel the change. But if you're already struggling to breathe before boarding, altitude can make that discomfort suddenly dangerous. Crew members quietly watch for this. A passenger who arrives sweating, panting, or stopping frequently as they walk down the aisle is someone we mentally mark for careful observation throughout the flight. You can absolutely request a quick breathing assessment before boarding. You can even ask for supplemental oxygen or priority seating if needed. Say this: "I've been experiencing shortness of breath today. Before I board, I want to make sure it's safe to fly." You're not being dramatic. You're being wise. I will never forget a lovely woman named Mrs. Alvarez who boarded a morning flight looking flushed and a little winded. She insisted she was fine. Halfway through, she became lightheaded and needed emergency oxygen. She was embarrassed, but she shouldn't have been. The body whispers before it screams. Listen to the whispers. Number 4, you're recovering from a recent surgery or procedure. Here's a sign most airlines completely fail to warn seniors about. Flying too soon after a surgery, even a small one, is risky. It doesn't matter whether it's a knee replacement, cataract surgery, abdominal procedure, or something you consider routine. Inside the aircraft, pressure changes can interfere with healing, increase swelling, and cause pain or complications you won't feel until you're already in the sky. And here's the part passengers never hear. Airlines legally require you to be medically cleared after certain procedures, but they rarely tell you this. They assume you know, and most seniors don't. Honestly, it frustrates me deeply. If you've had surgery recently, call the airline's medical desk. Every major carrier has one, and say, "I've recently had a procedure. What documentation do you need to confirm I'm safe to fly?" Your doctor can provide a short note that says, "Fit to fly." It protects you, not them. In my 15 years, I've seen passengers board too soon after surgery and experience swelling so severe they couldn't bend their legs. I've seen abdominal pain worsen because pressure affected internal healing. Please, my wonderful traveler, give your body time. Travel will wait. Your health won't. Number 5. Your gut is telling you something is wrong. This last sign is the quietest and the most ignored. Your intuition. I cannot tell you how many seniors have walked onto my aircraft saying, "I don't know, Lucy, I just don't feel right today," or "Something feels off, but I didn't want to cancel my trip." My love, your intuition is powerful. Older travelers have a sense younger passengers don't yet have. A sensitivity to your body, your energy, your internal signals. Please trust it. If your gut says something is wrong, even if you don't have symptoms you can explain, pause, listen, check in with yourself. Crew members trust intuition all the time. If we sense something feels off with a passenger, even when everything looks normal, we keep an eye on them. Your internal warning system is one of your greatest tools. Airlines won't tell you this, but you can absolutely walk to the counter and say, "I don't feel right. I need to move my flight." Most will help you rebook with reduced or no penalties, especially if you mention medical concern. You deserve to feel safe, steady, and confident when you fly. Never talk yourself out of your own instincts. Before we move on, if this video has been helpful so far, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I want you traveling smarter, safer, and with more confidence every single time. And we're only halfway through the secrets I have for you. All right, let's move into something most travelers never think about, especially seniors. And honestly, this is where TSA surprises people the most. When an officer asks you to unlock your phone, they aren't casually scrolling through your photos. What they're really doing is checking for security-flagged behavior. And this is where many travelers accidentally get into trouble without even realizing it. In 2026, TSA's new digital screening guidelines allow officers to look for activity that appears deceptive or high risk. And yes, certain apps can trigger a secondary search even if you've done nothing wrong. For example, constant VPN activity, multiple secure messaging apps, or hidden folders can make them think you're masking your identity, even if you're just protecting your privacy. Seniors especially get flagged because many install safety apps without realizing how they appear on TSA systems. So don't worry, you're not in trouble, but certain things can create delays, questions, and unnecessary stress. And that's exactly why I'm walking you through everything step by step. Now, let's talk about one of the biggest reasons travelers, especially seniors, get pulled aside in 2026. Apps that quietly track your location. Most people don't even realize how many apps on their phone constantly ping GPS, monitor movement, or share data in the background. TSA's new digital screening systems flag phones that have multiple location tracking apps running, because it can look like you're masking your travel route or coordinating movement across devices. And here's the surprising part. Many of these apps are totally innocent. Weather apps, step counters, coupon apps, or even older safety apps your kids installed years ago. But to TSA's scanners, they appear as excessive tracking activity, which can trigger follow-up questions or a secondary inspection. So before you fly, it's helpful to clean up unused apps, turn off unnecessary permissions, and make sure nothing on your phone is running in the background that you don't actually use. It saves time, reduces stress, and keeps your screening smooth. All right, now we're moving into the part of the video that travelers over 60 absolutely need to hear, because this is where most people accidentally trigger TSA attention without realizing it. In 2026, TSA technology automatically flags phones that have hidden storage, duplicate photo vaults, or old privacy locker apps still sitting on the device. These apps were popular years ago for storing documents, passwords, or private photos, but TSA's scanners read them as data concealment tools. Even if you've never used them, the apps alone can cause a digital red flag. And seniors get hit with this more than anyone, simply because many installed these apps long ago and forgot they even existed. When TSA sees an app designed to hide files, It doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It just means they may ask you to unlock your device, explain the app, or prove that nothing suspicious is inside. Removing old privacy apps, clearing hidden folders, and deleting duplicate backup tools before you fly will keep your screening simple, fast, and stress-free. Let's move into something that surprises travelers every single year. But in 2026, TSA has become even more alert to it. Unverified messaging apps. These are apps that allow anonymous texting, disappearing messages, or unknown contacts. Now, many seniors download these accidentally, sometimes thinking they're standard texting apps or harmless chat tools recommended by friends or grandkids. But to TSA's security filters, these apps look like non-traceable communication, which is exactly what their systems are designed to detect. Even if you've never sent a single message on them, the app itself can trigger TSA to take a closer look at your device. And here's what most people don't know. You don't need to delete your main apps like WhatsApp, Messenger, or iMessage. Those are fine. The problem is with smaller, unknown apps that offer encrypted chats, hidden message threads, or usernames instead of phone numbers. So before flying, scroll through your phone and remove any messaging app you don't recognize or don't actually use. It reduces confusion, avoids unnecessary questioning, and keeps your travel day smooth. Now let's wrap up with one of the most important parts of 2026 TSA digital screening, something almost nobody realizes until it happens to them. TSA is now paying closer attention to unusual activity patterns on your phone. Things like apps crashing repeatedly, storage being completely full, or dozens of notifications from apps you don't use. Why? Because these signs sometimes indicate malware, outdated software, or suspicious background activity, and that can trigger an additional phone check. Seniors get flagged for this more often simply because older phones tend to run slower, freeze more, or carry years of unused apps and notifications. But here's the good news. You can avoid 99% of these issues by doing a quick digital cleanup the night before your flight. Update your phone, clear unnecessary alerts, delete junk apps, and restart your device. It makes TSA screening smoother, prevents delays, and keeps you confidently in control of your travel day. A clean phone is a calm travel experience.